Welcome to IGSS online training. I'm Per Fredriksen from 7 Technologies Denmark, and I'm here to present our SCADA system IGSS. This is lesson 4, IGSS Concepts. In this lesson I will explain what is a configuration, what is an object, what is an atom, and what is a descriptor in IGSS. First we see an IGSS configuration. As you can see, an IGSS configuration is divided into a number of areas. In this case we have 4 different areas. In each area we have a number of diagrams. We see them here in the blue boxes down here. Welcome to IGSS, IGSS overview, etc. Those are all diagrams, mimic diagrams. On the mimic diagrams we'll find the objects in IGSS, and these are the process components in the monitored process. P1, P2, Q1, Q3 are typical object names. And finally we have the graphs, where we can show a number of objects, up to 10 objects, in a graphical chart. What is an object in IGSS? An object in IGSS is typically a process component. For instance, a pump, a valve, a flow meter, a level meter, etc. An object in IGSS, we say, consists of 2 elements. The invisible properties, such as the scan interval, logging percentages, etc. And the visible properties, how the object is shown on the mimic diagram. All properties of an object in IGSS are presented in one dialog box, no matter whether you're in the offline design module or you're in the online supervise module. And that dialog box is then divided into multiple tabs, so you have all the invisible and visible properties collected in one dialog box. The objects in IGSS is also a way to determine the size of the IGSS system. The more objects you have, the larger the process you are monitoring. When you buy a license, when you buy an IGSS license, then you buy a number of objects from 7 Technologies. Object types in IGSS. We have 10 object types in IGSS. Here we see the first group, called non-process objects. We have the area that you saw on the previous slide, which is used to divide the IGSS configuration into logical parts. This is a collection of diagrams, graphs, and objects. Then we have the individual mimic diagrams. We call them diagram in IGSS. And we have our graphs. And finally, the group object. The group object is a collection of objects that you want to reuse as one entity in your configuration, or you can export it and import it into another configuration. The process objects in IGSS are divided into 6 different object types. Analog objects such as flow meters, level meters, temperature meters. Digital objects such as pumps, valves, motors. Table objects, which are a collection of analog measurement points. String objects, which is a text string that can be either sent to the PLC or sent to the IGSS system. Counter objects, typically used to count the minutes and seconds and hours in the process. And finally, the scaling object, which is used to scale incoming values from the PLC to another unit that is meaningful for the operator in the supervise module. Objects and atoms. When you look inside an IGSS object, you'll see a number of atoms. An atom in IGSS corresponds to a tag, an in-out point, a measurement tag in other SCADA systems. If we take a look first at an analog object, then we have here a flow meter called Q1. It can contain up to 10 atoms. We have the high scale atom, which is the max value of the analog measurement scale. The low scale, which is the minimum value. We have PV, which is process value. We have SP, which is the set point. We have 4 built-in alarm limits: high alarm, high limit, low limit, and low alarm. And then we have 2 atoms concerning digital alarms, the alarm coming in from the PLC and the operator's acknowledgement going out to the PLC. If we look at a digital object, for example a pump P1, we can see that it only has 5 atoms. The first one is called command. That's the command sent from IGSS to the PLC. The state is the incoming state from the PLC. And again, we have alarm in, the incoming alarm bit, and alarm out, the outgoing acknowledgement from the operator to the PLC. Finally, we have free value, which is the possibility of attaching an analog value to a digital object. What is a descriptor in IGSS? A descriptor is a graphical representation of a process component. You can refer to the same object in IGSS as many times as you like with different descriptors. We have many different descriptors in IGSS. First, we have the built-in symbol file with industry standard symbols. Here we see a motor, for example. We have standard display types such as the bar display, circular display, and command field for digital objects where you show the digital commands. We have standard descriptors such as the Windows slider bar, Windows combo box, Windows progress bar. And we have a collection of symbols called animated symbols, and this is in fact the symbol library collection that is well known in the SCADA industry. Thank you for your attention. For more information, please visit www.70dk/IGSS.